A very good day to you all, ladies and gentlemen. I am Colonel Kraminder Singh, Secretary, Society for Welfare of the Handicapped, located in Patiala village, Safdipur, which is managing 4 institutions: Patiala School for the Deaf, Patiala School for the Blind, Patiala School for the Deaf Blind. This is a multiple specialty school. And lastly, our latest project is Patiala Early Intervention Center for the Deaf Infants, which was established only last year. Ladies and gentlemen, I will briefly apprise you about these institutions. These institutions are 54 years old as on today. These schools were started from a small, very old, dilapidated building which was given to the society in 1967 to start these institutions. And later on, with the help of our donors and Didi Puri Foundation USA, we shifted to this location in 2009. How we shifted is a different story which will be related sometime. As on today, we have got a strength of 421 children of all categories, out of which 375 children are staying in the hostel. The main hallmark of this society is that these schools, right since its inception, are totally free of cost and not a single rupee is charged for anything from any child. I will now briefly take you around to the school to apprise you what we are on the ground so that you have a clear picture. Thank you. I will now briefly take you inside the school complex and apprise you what we are on the ground. What you see in front of you is the entire setup of the school complex, and on my left hand side is the academic block, and also on my right hand side the long building you see, a 4-story building, is also the academic block. It has about approximately 64 classrooms which are used by the 3 schools. At the end of the academic block is the girls hostel, which is a 5-story building, and next to it what you see is Sayya Jain hostel for the boys. This complex has the boys hostel as well as the dining hall on the ground floor and the kitchen. Below the kitchen and the dining hall is a big basement we have got for our collective functions and all. What you see right in the front, in the far distance, is the building of Patiala Early Intervention Center for Deaf Infants, and towards the left of that is Prem Kunj, which is our guest house, and on the first floor is the principal's quarter. That is the general setup of the building. I will now take you around the whole complex to familiarize you with our activities and other things. This area is the area of academic block, which has got the office, our art and craft display room, the medical room, and also the staff room in the far end, which you see. Towards my right, this long veranda you see is the nursery classes for the deaf and the blind children. It starts with the auditory room, then comes the braille room, where the early life of a blind child starts. He is given the basic education of living skills in this room. And then you see the room by room are layout of the classrooms where the deaf children and the blind children nursery classes are existing. I will now take you to the first floor, which houses our Patiala School for the Blind. Right in front of you see is the Bray Library. I will take you around. This is a very beautiful library and very spacious which we have created for the blind children, and it has got all the knowledge, all the books which are required for the education and for the upbringing of these children. On my left, as we go across, are the classrooms of the various classes, and the teachers are very busy. In the blind school, our ratio of teacher to student is only 1:8, and that is how our school classes are set up, and that is how the furniture is laid out, as you will notice. This is a very special room, which is the occupational therapy room. This is used generally for the deaf blind children. Deaf blind children who come to us are not physically strong, and at times they cannot even walk, they can't run, they cannot do anything. So here we try and uptone their muscles and bring them physically up to the required standard. And we also try and improve their reflexes of the arms, legs, fingers, and other reflexes as per the procedures which we have which are carried out by the special teachers. These are on the left, you see, are all the classes for the blind children. This is the newly set up computer room for the blind children. You see here 22 laptops are displayed. They are all connected by internet 24 hours, and the children are given all the necessary information whatever is required for in a modern day education system. We have got some special equipment in this room, that is a read it van, which is used by the blind children to read a daily newspaper, a magazine, or even their print books. And also along with that, we have got the packmate, which is generally used by the deaf blind grown up children to read the newspaper, periodicals, etc. in Braille language. The print is converted into Braille, and the deaf blind students can go through that. All the children in this deaf school have been provided with Daisy players, which is a basic equipment, modern equipment given to these children for their daily needs and education. It helps them out in the recordings and in the preparation for the examinations and general study. These are our two music rooms. Firstly is the instrument room, and then is the vocal music room. We pay a lot of stress on music for the blind children, and I must say that our children excel in this field a lot and bring laurels by taking part in lots of competitions, etc. We will now go back. We'll go to the third floor, where our Patiala School for the Deaf is located. In Patiala School for the Deaf, the ratio of teacher to students is 1:15, and that is how our complete setup is there. The education of the deaf children is done totally with the sign language, which is the method of communication with these deaf children. We are shortly going to convert all classrooms into smart classrooms. In the ground floor, in nursery classes, already all the rooms are smart classrooms, and children are provided basic education where they start learning with the help of LCDs and the lesson plans. In the deaf school, this is the art and craft section of our school. This is a very innovative section for these children to come out with their various skills. If God has deprived them of some special senses, He has also given them some more additional power and some thinking power to create more such such things. And I must tell you that our children excel in art and craft, in drawing, in painting, in also tailoring, stitching, embroidery, and things like that. And they produce a large number of items skillfully, which are displayed by us and also used in outside functions and things like that. This is the computer room for the deaf children. This is also a totally modern setup. All the computers are connected with the internet, and the children are given the basic and as well as the advanced education on computers in this room here, which uplifts them morally, psychologically, and also gives them a lot of confidence to face the daily life. I will now take you to the vocational center which we are running. We have started for the blind children who are weak in studies or do not take any interest in education. We have two choices, either to throw them out of the school or to provide them some alternative means for survival. This is what we are doing. Here, the blind children who are not good in studies or who cannot write on braille because of weak fingers and things like that are on the khadi, on the loom, Indian system of loom making, and they make lovely cloth, they make carpets, they make rugs, and so many other things which are made by these children here. After these items are made by the blind children, they are sent to the deaf art and craft classrooms where they are given the finishing touches and the proper packing and all is done. I will now briefly take you to the dining hall. This, what you see in front of you, is the entire complex of the dining hall. It's a very modern system we have created for these children and also for the convenience of the blind children. Behind the dining hall is the kitchen. All the meals are served in the kitchen. We do not accept any cooked food from outside, and all in-house cooking is done for all the children. I will now briefly just take you around outside in the lawn and show you the entire complex. We have just come out of the dining hall, and above the dining hall is the Sayya Jain hostel for the boys. On the right of this is the Henna Jain hostel for the girls. And then you see the entire complex of academic block and the playgrounds which are now adequate and sufficient for these children. We are now in the also process in the making of two amusement parks, one for the blind children and one for the deaf children. I will request all the viewers who want to see this on the ground to come and share share their joy and fun with these children. We have a system of volunteers from all over the world. Volunteers keep on coming from all over the world here for maybe 1 month, 2 months, 3 months also, and they stay here. And we have a separate system for these volunteers. These volunteers are apprised about all the aspects of the deaf education, blind education, and as well as deaf-blind education. And these volunteers who come to us go as go wise, and after learning a lot of things regarding the disabilities. This society is managed by a team of 15 members, who are all dedicated and experts in their own field. It's a very well managed institution, which is one of the best. In 2015, the President of India gave us the National Award as the best NGO of India in child care and education of these children. Our children excel in games. Our children have been winning laurels not only at the national level but also at the international level. It's an all-round development of these children, what we do. Cultural activities are a very important part of their education with us. And cultural activities include dramas by the blind, plays by the deaf and blind, and also combined programs are held between the deaf and the blind children to have involved integration between the two. The deaf and blind students are a very special lot, and we pay very special attention to them to improve them in all their aspects. In brief, this is what Society for Welfare of the Handicapped is, and is doing a human service in the service of these handicapped people. Thank you.